Alright, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and I may delete this video. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I kind of want to just rant and or talk about the new reveals and the new expansion and whatnot, because I'm kind of feeling underwhelmed with the elite specs, and I don't know if that's the right way to feel, and I don't know if I'm underwhelmed by the elite specs themselves or the lack of information on them. Now, a video like this with any sort of hate or underwhelmingness or whatever have you is always taken horrifically by people, but it's coming from a place of like, I love this game, I want it to succeed, and I want to be genuinely hyped when a new expansion comes out. But so far, I've been going back through the footage and everything that I have and whatnot, and the only thing that really interests me from the entire new expansion is Paragon and Ritualist. Right? Like, when a new expansion comes out, most of the time, the elite specs are like, oh my god, these things are all so fucking cool, which one do I want to main? I want to play every single one of them. I need to make like 9 characters, like, oh my god. And like, just looking at everything, I don't have any of that feeling whatsoever. And I don't know if it'll like hit later, or if it'll hit when we get more information, or more footage, or more showcase, or whatever have you. I'm just gonna be doing events, by the way, for some of the like stuff I've got going on here. This is all live commentated, so I just kind of want to rant and get this off my chest for a little bit here. But the only thing I'm kind of so far excited for is like the LFG rework, maybe a rework to Fractals if they decide to go that route, and then Paragon, not gonna lie. Because the way I think they're gonna do Paragon is already been showcased. Like, do I have my spear on right now? No, I don't. I'll put it on in a second. But basically what I think they're gonna do with Paragon is they're gonna make, you know how Guardian has Aegis on their arm, like no matter what weapon they have equipped? I think that's what they're gonna do with a Paragon shield. So let me show you here. I'll put my spear on. Just flip off this and just whack that there. So in this case, we have Mighty Throw, Paragon ability. Maiming Spear, Paragon ability. Disrupting Throw, Paragon ability. Spear Martial Support, that's new. Spear Swipe, also new. Harrier's Toss, Paragon ability. And I think the upgraded version with Berserker is also a Paragon ability. So, what I think they're gonna do is, Paragons, of course, use a shield in the other hand, right? So, we can't particularly do that right now, given circumstance of spears being two-handed weapons for everyone. But if they do go and make the, what was this called here? Wild Throw. I believe that's also a Paragon ability, yeah. If they do go and make it so that the spec basically gives you an Aegis shield on your arm, then we have Paragon from Guild Wars 1, which is the spear shield spec, right? So that's probably how they're going to go about it, which then means the shield could be the warrior icon, which is kind of hilarious because the shield icon has like pieces in it where you could fit a shield on it. So entirely possible. Who knows? We'll see how it goes as things go on. But the only other thing that I feel kind of excited for is Ritualist, but then even in the showcases, they showed the Ritualist Necromancer literally whacking someone with the wand as a melee weapon, right? So they didn't show any summons. They didn't show anything of note for what could make it actually look kind of cool and do cool shit. They showed a summoner spec whacking someone in melee range, which is a bold choice, I'm not gonna lie. And then everything else after that, kinda underwhelming to me, honestly. Like, Minstrel, Mesmer could be really cool to Mesmer players, and I'm not particularly a Mesmer player, so I don't really care about that myself. That's not like a, I'm gonna re-roll Mesmer, this is dope as fuck, like Virtuoso was. Because Virtuoso was basically Esper from, what is it? Oh yeah, that's a bug that's happening, by the way. If you pre-order the expansion, the skins literally don't work. So be careful of that if you're watching this video. It doesn't appear for whatever reason, so small indie company. But yeah, be aware of that. And then what was I saying? So yeah, Mesmer underwhelming to me. I mean, yeah, okay, cool meme spec, sure. But I'm never gonna play it. It's not like Virtuoso where I'm gonna want to play the damn thing or reroll a character for it. Paragon looks kind of fun if they do that idea of giving you a shield linear, like, offhand, no matter what, because that's the way you could do it so that, like, you're still able to use Greatsword or Axe or that sort of thing. And it just adds the shield over top, which would be pretty sick. Would definitely be a fan of that. And then, yeah, Ritualist, like, I don't know if it's the fact that there's just lack of information right now, but the fact they showed a Ritualist Necromancer whacking someone with the fucking wand, no. Not interested in that one particularly. I mean, I know I'm going to be interested in Ritualist itself once we play it, but, like, you could have at least given me, like, you could have showed Pain or Union or, like, anything. No, nothing. Okay, well, anyways. And then Mozilla Firefox Elementalist is just, what, proof they get, like, a summon of sorts? So, okay, sure. I didn't fail that event, did I? Because I didn't kill quick enough? Fuck if I know. I'm just ranting right now. So yeah, that really showed nothing as well. Just proof that they get, like, a little pet familiar, but then don't they get that with Catalyst already? Where they've got, like, the Jade Sphere as, like, a follower sort of thing? So, I mean, are we just not recycling at that point? Which is a little underwhelming. So, Ellie, if it augments, like, staff Ellie for, like, a mage style, like people are really wanting, then maybe there's something to be said, like, about that, because the amount of people who want mage elementalist is surprisingly high. But the way they've designed it is that that's really not particularly possible given the circumstances of the way they've built the class. So maybe they're rebuilding it in that kind of archetype. So okay, maybe. And then let's go Treasure Hunter Engineer. Now this one's a weird one because it could still be Thief. And if Thief gets a Scrit pet, then okay, I'm kind of interested, right? Then we've got a little bit of hype circulating, right? Then I kind of care. Because the thing that gets me is if it's Engineer, which it could be, they would have 2 pet specs. And that's, I mean, sure, like, you know, it's your game, do whatever the fuck you want, but, like, why would we give them Mechanist? Which, first of all, Mechanist Engineer was Icy Fields of Green for how many months? So, bold move, considering what happened the last time you gave Elementalist a pet, or Engineer a pet class. But then, like I said, why give them a second pet? Right? I mean, yeah, okay, so Ellie gets a pet, but we don't even know if that is a pet. It could just be a summon of sorts, like the Catalyst Orb, still, that does the same thing. You could argue the Catalyst Orb is technically a pet as well. Even though, like, it's not really, obviously.
And they don't look friendly.
So yeah,
I'll take them out so no one gets hurt.
the reason that it can't be Deadeye, or the reason that it can't be Thief is because, I'm not gonna be able to kill that in time, shit. Is because, like I said, it requires having the expansion to be able to wield rifle, and then Soto to unlock the rifle, which then means logistically it comes down to Engineer. So then, like I said, if Engineer gets a second pet class, why? Like, why? Like, at that point, I should make an Engineer, just because, like, it's Rifle Ranger, because they're giving it 2 separate pets on 2 separate places, which is a bold move. Okay, now, moving on to Ranger, Falconer. And now, the thing is I don't know if I have built something already that just invalidates Falconer as a whole, because if people are saying, okay, you use birds and it gives you a longbow upgrade. Okay, you can't make a longbow upgrade. I'm sorry, you cannot make something better than longbow untamed. There is no better way to fulfill the archer fantasy, let's call it, than literally spamming infinite rapid fires and infinite multi-shots, okay? Like, what do you think you can do that augments the weapon itself? And the other problem that they have is that since it's going to be an elite spec, you can't run both at the same time, right? So there's no way that you could run the Falconer longbow upgrades and longbow untamed at the same time, meaning that, like, it's not even really a longbow upgrade. It couldn't be a longbow upgrade. It could be a different type of, like, longbow stuff, sure, and then maybe you get some variety in it. But, like, Untamed with longbow untamed already made longbow feel like an absolutely amazing weapon. So they're just kind of shooting themselves in the leg at that point. They went for some wild cabbages. So yeah, that kind of puts me off the Ranger spec, because what it would be doing already exists and is arguably more fun than anything they could potentially invent or add. And I mean, okay, maybe I get fucking wooed by whatever the spec is and does. Sure, who knows? I'm open to it by all means. Like, I'm not saying these things to hate. Like, I want them to be good. I want them to be better. It's just like, it's kind of underwhelming so far. And then Guardian, I saw a teaser thing from like a press kit that apparently they get a floating lantern behind them of sorts. So that's a thing, I guess. God knows what it does. Maybe it's another pet summon. Maybe it's another, you know, like, maybe they get gyros. That worked so well the fucking first time. So yeah, like, it's just, there's nothing wow worthy aside from Paragon to me. I mean, okay, I'm a warrior main, sure, but like, everything else just seems kind of mid at best. And I don't know if that's me having overvalued expectations or, you know, shitting on something too hard or what have you. So feel free to rip me apart in the fucking comment section. I am entirely open to it. Go for it. But I'm just kind of curious how everyone feels about it, because, yeah, at the end of the day, like, the only thing I really care about is maybe Paragon and Ritualist. Now, the only thing that also comes up is that we don't have Thief or Revenant yet. So, Thief could still be either Assassin or Gambit, right? Because the cards could be Gambit Thief, could be Treasure Hunter, Gambler, Engineer that we've already been shown with the gold farming thing, you know? Like, we don't particularly know just yet. And Revenant could still be Dervish. There's a chance. Absolutely still a chance. Because, I mean, you don't need to make Monk, right? Guardian basically encapsulates Monk as a whole. But then Thief also encapsulates Assassin as a whole, so, I don't know. But that's the thing, is like, is the Ritualist Chris actually the Ritualist icon? Because if you look at what the Ritualist wields, he's not using a Chris, right? He's literally using the wand with the, like, two circular things on it. Like, the orb in the middle with, like, the metal surrounding it, and he's using it as a melee weapon. So, that doesn't scream the Chris icon to me, you know what I mean? Like, so in that case, there's still the possibility for Assassin. And in theory, if they've done this all on purpose, because there's some correlation that they have. Because, like I said, the Spear for Warrior has all Paragon abilities, right? Added in Janthier. Which means they were thinking ahead, right? Because all Paragon abilities, Paragon reveal in the next expansion, right? So, entirely planned from moment one. From the inception a year and a half ago, it was planned to do Paragon, right? That's literally the closest proof possible. So, then, that leads me to the idea that the Paragon is going to put a shield on Warrior's arm, which is fitting to finally have an actual, like, defensive spec. I mean, there's Spellbreaker, sure. Although I still don't know why we didn't get... Well, I guess they didn't have the tech for Lance Spears or whatever have you, so they couldn't do Paragon and POF, I guess, maybe. That's probably why. I don't know. Because, like, theoretically, like, we're Sun Spears, dude. Like, why the fuck wouldn't we get... Oh, whatever. But yeah, so the fact that this seems like it was entirely correlated and planned with the Paragon abilities to then give Warrior a shield on its arm so that you could create the literal Paragon from Guild Wars 1 means that they're thinking multiple years in advance already, which is great news. But then that also means there's correlation to the Guild Wars 1 return event, like I said before, because everyone's going back and they're playing their Ritualist, they're playing their Assassin, they're playing their Paragon, and they're playing their Dervish. Right? And the two we don't have revealed yet are Thief and Revenant. And I wonder why that is. I wonder why the only two that we don't have revealed yet are the only two that could have expansion themes tied to Guild Wars 1. I don't know, dude. Maybe that's because Assassin Dervish generates so much fucking hype that they want to keep it as an absolute bomb to slam whenever they need to. But at the same time, people are currently exceptionally pissed off that there's like very little reveal information with all of the current stuff. Like everywhere I'm looking on Reddit, everyone's pissed as fuck. We are diving into file names, basically. File names of images to try and find out elite spec stuff. And that's how like deep it's going, because they literally revealed no information. They did all of this build up towards, you know, elite specs and showcase and what have you, and everyone's fuming that there's barely anything. Like, even as it is, my elite spec video is I'm not gonna say grasping at straws, but straws are all we have, to put it lightly, right? Like, it's the closest showcase that I have to what we actually have so far, which is 7 confirmations and showcases now, because the Guardian one wasn't included, but I pinned it in the comment above, or below rather. So yeah, out of the 7 specs that are currently shown, I personally only give a shit about Paragon and maybe Ritualist. Mozilla Firefox, I don't play Elementalist, and from what I've played of it, I'm gonna keep it that way. Minstrel, meme spec, in my opinion. Treasure Hunter NG, why give it a second pet? Guardian gets a lantern, God knows what it does. Kind of underwhelming. And then, I don't think what the other one was. Falconer. Falconer is Longbow Untamed already exists. So if you're trying to augment Longbow, the fuck is Falconer gonna do to it? You know, like, it just, everything except Paragon and Ritualist feel underwhelming to me. And that was kind of the point of the rant that I wanted to make. And I don't know if I'm an asshole for saying that, so feel free to rip me apart in the comments, like I said. I could be wrong, and the information they give us in the playthrough on the 20th to 27th could make me go, oh my god, I love this spec, it caught me off guard, or whatever, right? You know, who knows. But right now, as it currently stands, unless they reveal, like, Assassin Dervish, which I can hope, but I highly doubt it, then yeah, so far Paragon Rit is like the only thing that kind of interests me, which is kind of underwhelming for an entire expansion to boil down to, yeah, I can put a shield on my arm, dog, and maybe I get to summon Pain, Union, and fucking Suffering. But then again, haven't I already summoned Pain, Union, and Suffering by not being really interested in most of what's been revealed? Paragon, though, I'll probably play for the next however many years, for sure, because that was the one class I wanted to go back to Guild Wars 1 to actually play. So being able to play it in GW2 will be really, really fun. And like I said, I think the way that they do it is they turn it into basically Aegis, where a shield appears on your arm, but then you can't transmog the shield at any point, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, that would be the way that you could make Paragon quotedly appear with two-handed spear in one hand, Paragon shield kit that appears on your left hand, and then you've got Guild Wars 1 Paragon. So, who knows? Maybe Ritualist will have even more summons and what have you that they'll actually show sometime, but giving Ritualist showcase being whacking a motherfucker with the wand, your marketing department needs help, dog. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. It's been 20 minutes of ranting. Let me know if I'm a moron in the comment section, which, I mean, I am, but still, feel free to rip into me and tell me how wrong I am, or agree with me that it's kind of underwhelming. I don't know. Let me know. I'm curious about your guys' thoughts. So, thank you guys for listening. As always, take care.